everyone, it's the English Simmer here, and I've been playing The Sims 4 for about 10 years now, but every day I feel like I discover some small little secret about this game that I never ever knew before. And today we're gonna check out some of those interesting Easter eggs together, some things that you may have never even noticed about this game, and I for one am really excited to introduce you to them. The first one you are gonna need the Get to Work expansion pack for, and when your sim is pregnant, you can actually choose to have a baby at the hospital once your sim goes into labor. And then when you go back home with your child, you will notice that you may have a birth certificate in your sim's inventory or in the household inventory. Sometimes this does glitch out a little bit, but if you did happen to receive one, place it up on your wall, and when you actually view that item, it comes up with a notification that tells you your baby's name, just in case you've already forgotten it in the pre-parental panic. Or if you're just like me for real and you're doing a legacy challenge or a 100 baby challenge and you just can't remember which birth certificate is whose, it can get confusing when you have that many babies. I've had my legacy for 6 generations now. I'm not a bad parent, I promise. Do keep in mind though, if your sim dies and you don't actually keep them tied to their gravestone and they get culled, or if you just go through debug to find one of these birth certificates for decoration or maybe for storytelling, it will actually say that the writing has faded and you can't tell whose it is, which I think is really sad, but really good for storytelling beats. Number 2 is about one of the secret locations that we have in the Sims 4 base game. Now, obviously, a lot of people probably know about Sylvan Glade, which can be accessed through the tree in Willow Creek, and a lot of people also probably know about the Hidden Grotto, which can be accessed in the Oasis Springs Park when your sim reaches a handiness level 10. However, there is also another secret entrance to the Hidden Grotto that I recently only just discovered when I was playing Crystal Creations. I had no idea that this existed. So if you actually travel to the Landgrab mansion and then head to the back of their lot, there is a little slope that slopes down to the left of their house. There is actually another entrance to the Hidden Grotto, so you don't need to go to the Oasis Springs Park. Honestly, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Clearly, Landgrab Mansion is built on a gold mine. Number 3 happens to be the Lindsay speaker. Now, this is a smart speaker. It kind of works how you imagine like a Google or Alexa to work in real life, and you can actually ask it to tell you jokes, you can ask for it to play random music, you can chat to it. It is like a talking toilet in the sense that you will actually start to build a relationship with that speaker, and once you actually reach a pretty good friendship level with the speaker, you can ask it to set a wake-up call. This can be a news roundup in the morning, or it can actually help around the house. It can hire services for you. You can obviously ask it to do that. However, if it notices that your hunger need is quite low, it will automatically buy a pizza for your sim. If you have a really messy house and you have it like in your kitchen and it's unclean, it will hire a maid service. If it notices that something is broken on your lot, it will hire a repair sim to come and fix it for you. Honestly, this is a smarter speaker than we all gave it credit for. Of course, the iconic Grim Reaper had to make it somewhere on the list, and he's in at number 4. Now, if you have The Sims 4 Nifty Knitting, which is a stuff pack, when your sim reaches level 10, so this is going to take a fair bit of knitting on your part, they can actually knit kids' toys. And one of those kid toys are a number of different variations of Lil Grim. And Lil Grim can actually be used to bribe the Grim Reaper. Now, don't get your hopes up. This isn't going to save you from death. You can't just give it to him and hope that your loved one stays alive and he brings them back. It's absolutely more selfish than that. He will actually reset your sim's age. So no matter what life stage they are currently on, if they are an elder who is quite close to dying and you've noticed that they've been slowing down a little bit, it will reset to 0 days and they will have longer to live in the elder life stage. And this works the same way. So it just takes it back to 0, resets your age progress for the life stage that you are in. Number 5 is something that I do literally all the time within my game, but I actually have to remind my community of. And whenever I seem to do it, people are like, oh my goodness, goodness, I didn't know that this existed. And it's the fact that the season's flower arranging table and also the new gemology table that we just got in Crystal Creations actually act as storage. So these tables have their own inventories. It's super, super helpful because you probably have like a lot of flowers in your Sims inventory and it can get really, really disorganized. I am desperately hoping for the day where they give us an inventory update so that we can sort it, make folders, and just let it be aesthetically pleasing for those of us who are sentimental and like to keep a hold of everything. Number 6 might not be so secret to some of you. However, there are actually secret recipes or hidden recipes that your Sims can learn to cook. I think this is really cool if you do have a Sim who wants to learn every culinary dish that we have within the game. Some of them relate to certain moods, so whilst your Sim is feeling flirty, they can make flirty heart cookies. If they're feeling angry, they can make a flaming spaghetti dish. Energize leads to a protein plate, and gummy bear pancakes are made when your Sim is feeling playful. Then of course, if you have the Sims 4 dine out, 1, I pray for you that your restaurants work correctly, but 2, you can actually add experimental dishes, which are kind of dishes that come from the region of Sixim. You can add those experimental dishes onto your menu within the restaurant, so you can go have your Sims order them, and then once they actually finish their plate, they will know how to make those recipes. The same happens for any food stall that we have within the game, so the city living food stalls, the food over on Batu. If you have your Sim order certain plates and then have them finish it, that will then be added to that Sim's personal cookbook and they can cook it anytime. Number 7 feels appropriate now that I know that we're getting a new Beetle Juice film, but you can actually basically become Beetle Juice in The Sims 4, which I know is a wild thing to say. This actually comes with The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle, and it relates to the beetles that you can grow on the little insect farm. So you're obviously gonna need to start harvesting beetles. If you continue to nurture and take care of those beetles, you can actually harvest their beetle nuggets, which honestly in my mind is just like beetle poop, which is hilarious because you can actually just like cook them up and eat them, or you can put them in your fridge. I just imagine kids coming home from school being like, look, I got beetle poops, and then they just live in your fridge for like 6 months and it's absolutely vile. But at Mixology level 10, if you then have those beetle nuggets, you can actually create beetle juice, and then if you drink 3 of those beetle juices back to back, your Sim actually turns into a ghost. Yes, you heard me correctly. They become a ghost. There isn't a Grim Reaper. They don't die. They just kind of transform into a ghost, and they're a playable ghost from the get-go. So it's not like you have to kill a Sim off and then ask them to rejoin your household. You just have a playable ghost, which I think is so cool. Number 8 is for all of you hard workers out there, you lot who love to grind your Sims for simoleons, and it is the fact that you can actually have 2 part-time jobs at the same time. Now obviously these do have to be 2 part-time jobs where you get to choose the schedule, but you can actually have a Sim go to 1 job in the morning, and then if you choose a second one, you can have them go to that second job in the evening so that they're making more simoleons, just in case you wanted your Sims to suffer as much as you. Number 9 is a base game object that I see brought up so much. Every so often on Twitter, I feel like it's like once a month at this point, people are reminded that we have an automatic sprinkler system within the game. It is classed as an alarm in build and buy mode. Obviously, a lot of people choose to use the traditional fire alarm, which will just ping. It will bring firefighters into your home if you have one, or your Sims can fight the fire themselves and usually end up with fear of fires, which is honestly just a vicious cycle because that means that they start fires way more frequently and it feels like you're fighting fires at any given opportunity within your game. So if you want the game to take care of that automatically, just install the sprinkler system. As soon as a fire starts on your lot, the sprinklers will turn on in the room where the fire is. You actually need only one of these systems on the outside of your house. The fire will be put out instantly and your Sims don't have to worry. Honestly, I never really use it that much because I feel like fires are far too easy in The Sims 4 anyway. I mean, I'm glad they're not as buggy as The Sims 3, but I did love the lethalness of a fire in The Sims 3. It really felt felt like it could take out a whole house if it wanted to, where in The Sims 4, it's like, oh, there's so many ways to extinguish it. There's also so many ways to extinguish my sim. I feel like you have to try really, really hard to kill a sim through fire these days. That's absolutely a normal sentence that you thought you were gonna hear on Easter Sunday. And finally, coming in at number 10 is something that I personally knew nothing about. Honestly, something that hasn't ever piqued my curiosity within the game, which I find very, very surprising, but it is the fact that you can obviously woo Father Winter, which means that you can also woohoo Father Winter. And if you happen to fall pregnant with Father Winter's child, once that child ages up, they will have their very own individual personality trait. It is known as Father Winter's child, and anytime you complete a whim using this sim, you get 50% more aspiration points than you would get on a normal sim. Honestly, I feel like I don't play with whims or like pay enough attention to them to see the benefit of that, but a fun little fact in case you didn't know. And of course, I'm just gonna throw in a cheeky bonus one because I feel like anytime I make this video, a lot of people bring up cheats, specifically Motherload, but then also a bunch of people respond to that with, there is a better cheat than Motherload. So what you need for this cheat is to Control-Shift-C, same as any other cheat, type testing cheats on, and then once that is actually enabled, if you just type money into your cheat box, space, and then set your money to any amount. Now you can do this to remove funds, you can set your household funds to 0 if you want, you could set it to 9,999,999,000, you know, you get the drift. I think that's the limit. The limit does in fact exist when it comes to the Sims Bank. But I know that people always want me to mention that, and they're always like, everyone always brings up Motherload, but the money cheat is way more powerful and it's way more customizable. So I thought I would throw it in here to make you all happy. And that wraps up this top 10 Easter eggs. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you may have learned something new. Obviously, if you didn't, I do apologize. But if you have any other interesting facts that you think people might not know about The Sims 4, even if it's just like little details that you really enjoy about this game, do not hesitate to leave them down in the comments below, because I know people find these videos and also the comment sections of these videos so helpful, and you never know. If I make another one of these, then the comments you leave may actually play a role in the next one. The circle of life continues when it comes to The Sims 4 hints, tips, and tricks, but thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you all go off and make the most of these secret little facts. If you do play with any of them, definitely let me know how you are bringing them into your storylines or your challenges. I appreciate you always, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.